What's up, YouTube? I'm Z, and this channel shows you the world through my lens. I was getting a lot of requests to do more on the video that I did. So I just realized a few people commented, and then I realized that the version that I did previously, the deadly beef between Youngboy and Fredo Bang, that was one video in a four video series or whatever. So that's why I was super confused when I came out of that. There was a whole lot of the story missing. Now, I would want to do that because there was a few people commenting that that is actually a really good breakdown. It's just you have to watch all four videos. I don't have time to watch all four videos today. So I did want to get more information. I'm looking up the Hip Hop Daily version of this. So this is Youngboy versus Fredo Bang, Baton Rouge's Deadly Beef. So that's what we're going to do today. I do want to say, to find this, I searched Hip Hop Daily NBA Youngboy. And I thought, okay, it's going to be this video. There's like 7 videos. 7 videos about him in beefs with different people. So I just did a song by King Von. And then I was told a whole bunch of stuff that went on with that and how it kind of led to beef between him and Lil Durk. So there's all sorts of stuff going on. I just recorded a reaction to Lil Durk. Again, the Lil Durk and King Von reactions I was requested, but I had no idea that they were connected to Youngboy. I just thought I was getting requests in the comments. I don't know anything about any of this. So I'm guessing I'll have more videos to watch after this to figure out the beefs on those artists as well. But right now we're going to watch this. It's just over 10 minutes long. Or just under 11 minutes long. So it's the right amount of time since I only have a little time right now. Let's check it out.
Baton Rouge is a wild city, claiming the 6th highest murder rate in the U.S. for 2020. The rise of NBA Youngboy has shined a light on the daily life and street politics of the city. But Youngboy isn't the only popular rapper from Baton Rouge, and another hot artist who's a sworn op of the NBA camp may be threatening Youngboy's title as the most popular rapper from the area. Here's a look at the most deadly beef between NBA Youngboy and Fredo Bang. To fully understand this beef, we'll have to take a look back at the beginnings of Youngboy's career and a beef he had with another Baton Rouge artist named G Money. Youngboy is known to rep 38th Street on the north side of Baton Rouge, which is where the title of his breakout hit 38 Baby.
I was just going to say that. I was wondering when I got the request a whole bunch of times about 38 Baby, and then I reacted to, maybe it was Pour One, maybe it was something else, but I think that was on 38 Baby as well. Whichever song it was, I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I was wondering why 38, but now we know. And then G Money, I know that from the previous video. This is the artist that died, I guess, first in this whole altercation thing that happened. So let's see what's going on.
Street on the north side of Baton Rouge, which is where the title of his breakout hit 38 Baby comes from. But early in his career, he would link up with a crew from South Baton Rouge called TBG. South Baton Rouge is divided into 2 sections. TBG, or Top Boy Gorillas, claim the top section, and BBG, or Bottom Boy Gorillas, claim the lower section.
That's so interesting, right? That it's so localized. Like he said, in South Baton Rouge, so not even all of Baton Rouge, in the South area, it's divided into 2 sections, North and South, or top and bottom, sorry. Interesting.
Today, the NBA camp is cool with BBG, and both have beef with TBG, but that wasn't always the case. Growing up, Youngboy was friends with the younger brother of a rapper from TBG named G Money. G Money was a few years older than them and became a mentor to Youngboy. When Youngboy started to rap, G Money brought him into the TBG collective and started helping him make music.
See, now this part I know a little bit about from, I think, Pour One. I think he said in that they were cool, like Youngboy and G Money. And I think maybe they're probably going to talk about it, but in Pour One, from my understanding, it sounded like something went down between G Money and Youngboy's sister, and that's kind of what sparked the falling out. So let's see.
The rapper can even be seen in the video for the TBG track iPhone 6, along with G Money and Fredo Bang, who's also a member of the group. iPhone 6 blew up and made G Money one of the biggest artists coming out of Baton Rouge at the time. Youngboy also released his project, Life Before Fame, while signed to TBG, but it failed to gain much attention. So G Money became the focus of the label, and Youngboy was pushed to the side. Right around that time, Fredo Bang got locked up for attempted murder. When he went to jail, everything was still cool between the TBG and NBA crew. but by the time he was released, it was an all-out war. Youngboy eventually left TBG because he felt like he wasn't getting the shine and attention he deserved. He instead began to focus on himself and building the NBA as its own brand.
I'm gonna pull it back just a touch. It's interesting, that part, right? Like, he felt like he wasn't getting the shine that he deserved. And I feel like that happens a lot of times. It's like sometimes these small labels and stuff, they have limited resources, and if a couple people put music out and somebody's not received well, but somebody else is, it's like they want to back that artist that got received well, because again, if you have limited resources, where are you going to put those resources, right? That being said, I think that when stuff like this happens, like, it makes me think of like the Kanye situation. Like, should he have got acknowledgement, and should he have been put on sooner? Yeah, I mean, he was an incredible talent and force, but the fact that he wasn't leads him to become who he became, right? So without whatever we went through, we wouldn't be who we are today. It's just how it works, right? If a different decision or a different thing happened, it would have changed the trajectory of who you are today. It's just how things work. So would Youngboy have had the career trajectory the way that he has if he did get shine from that group and he did stay with them?
This is where tension started to build at TBG camp, and the relationship would only get worse after a few key events. First, Youngboy started getting close to his cousin Boozilla. He and Boozilla had been beefing while he was part of TBG, but they eventually made up and began rocking with each other again. Boozilla was a member of BBG and had issues with TBG, which would eventually lead to his death. Around this time, Youngboy was starting to build a buzz of his own and began using his new platform to throw shade at his former friends. On the track Pour One, he raps about where the beef with G Money began, saying, "Remember smoking weed with your little brother? Matter of fact, nigga, I used to call you my big brother. Then you did some foul shit and had sex with my sister. Then threw it in my face in front of people on Insta." G Money.
That's what I was talking about. So I heard that in Pour One, and the line right after the part that they quoted, they ended the quote right there, but the line right after actually even said something about, "It won't even mention the disease that you gave her, or you both," or something like that, right? So I think there's even more to it.
He later admitted in an interview with Say Cheese that he did sleep with Youngboy's sister, which is what started the beef. He says that it happened a long time ago, and Youngboy wasn't tripping over it at first. But after he started gaining attention, the success got to his head, and he let his emotions get the best of him. The two would continue trading diss songs over the next few months that quickly went from subliminals to calling each other out by name and making it clear that despite their past affiliations, they were no longer cool. While this was all going down, Youngboy's cousin Boozilla was shot and killed in Baton Rouge. Immediately after he was killed, Youngboy went out looking for who was responsible and ended up catching 2 attempted murder charges. He and 3 of his affiliates, NBA Ben 10, NBA Self-Paid, and NBA Joe.
Ben 10. I'm recognizing that name. So that one, was it Rebels Kick It maybe? People were saying that he was talking about Ben 10. So I guess this is a close friend of his as well.
After he was killed, Youngboy went out looking for who was responsible and ended up catching 2 attempted murder charges. He and 3 of his affiliates, NBA Ben 10, NBA Self-Paid, and NBA Joe, slid to the ops block and let off a few shots at the 2 people they thought were responsible. They ended up missing their target, but NBA Joe was somehow shot in the neck and brought to the hospital. A suspect named Trash One Coates was later arrested for the murder. It's not clear what the motive was, but the gossip on the internet is that it had to do with Boozilla dissing the TBG rapper named Deusa. Boozilla's murder only added fuel to the fire in the beef between NBA and TBG.
Look, this one's a little easier to follow, I think mainly because this guy's talking a little bit slower than the previous guy was. That being said, it's still hard to follow because the number of names that have been dropped at this point, I'm like, I feel like I should have a notebook and I should be taking notes right now. Like, that's what it feels like.
It's not clear what the motive was, but the gossip on the internet is that it had to do with Boozilla dissing the TBG rapper named Deusa. Boozilla's murder only added fuel to the fire in the beef between NBA and TBG, but it was put on hold for a while Youngboy was locked up. Youngboy was arrested for attempted murder and spent the next 8 months fighting the case. Even though he was potentially facing life in prison, his lawyers were able to plead it down to just a 10-year suspended sentence. Check out our video on rappers that beat a murder charge for more info on this case. After Youngboy was released from prison, the beef between him and G Money got even more heated. Youngboy dropped his album A.
He looks funny in a suit.
Just a 10-year suspended sentence. Check out our video on rappers that beat a murder charge for more info on this case. After Youngboy was released from prison, the beef between
It's also because the suit looks like it might be a touch big for him, so that I think that makes it look even more funny. But it's like when you see, I don't know what I just did. When you see people like that you normally see in certain looks or whatever. So like for me, again, I work in the gym. So when I see people not in gym clothes, it's always like, oh yeah, you look different. So yeah, he looks. I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
He got even more heated. Youngboy dropped his album AI Youngboy, which featured several disses aimed at his rival. He and Youngboy started going back and forth on social media, dissing each other and making threats. G Money then dropped the track Industry, Youngboy Never Broke Again response, where he takes direct shots at Youngboy. Tragically, in September 2017, G Money was shot to death in the parking lot of a music studio. He was about to link up with Fredo Bang, who was set to be released from prison that same day, but he was killed before Fredo got out. When G Money was killed, they kept Fredo locked up for a few more months out of fear that he may retaliate or end up getting himself killed. This is where the beef between Fredo and Youngboy really began, because he was locked up while all the other drama was going down. The NBA camp had the advantage at that point, with TBG's main artist dead and its other two most prominent rappers, Fredo Bang and Boulevard Quick, behind bars. But it just so happened that Boulevard Quick and Youngboy's brother, OG33, were both in the same prison dorm. In an Instagram live session the rapper did after getting released, he claims that he jumped OG33 in jail to get revenge for G Money's death.
See, so that's what I was confused about, because I recognize the name OG33, but I think in the previous video, again, the guy was just talking so fast that I actually thought OG33 was a part of these guys' crew. So I was just very confused, especially in the previous song, or in one of the songs I just reacted to recently, where Youngboy made reference to 3-3, and I was asking for your guys' help to kind of figure it out, and a bunch of you commented down, in the comments, which was very helpful. Now I get it. Okay, so OG33 is associated with Youngboy, and then Boulevard Quick says that he jumped him in prison. Okay.
He was locked up while all the other drama was going down. The NBA camp had the advantage at that point, with TBG's main artist dead and its other two most prominent rappers, Fredo Bang and Boulevard Quick, behind bars. But it just so happened that Boulevard Quick and Youngboy's brother, OG33, were both in the same prison dorm. In an Instagram live session the rapper did after getting
his brother, okay,
released, he claims that he jumped OG33 in jail to get revenge for G Money's death. Youngboy cooled off with the diss tracks after that because he had no one else in the streets to beef with, and he was a suspect in G Money's murder. But the beef would pick right back up again after Youngboy's manager, Desmond Hardenett, also known as Dump, was shot and killed outside of his home. He was standing in the driveway by his car talking to his girlfriend when shots were fired from a passing vehicle. His girl was also shot but survived. Dump's death intensified the beef between NBA and TBG, and not long after the shooting, Fredo Bang was released from prison. He and Boulevard Quick then went on a mission to take over the rap game and get revenge for G Money's death. Youngboy even went as far as calling out G Money by name on the track AMR, where he says that the rest of the TBG crew was going to end up like him for killing Dump. Fredo and Quick responded with their own series of diss tracks, and the beef just kept getting more and more out of control. He even got...
So I don't know if this one is going to show the tracks, but now this is giving me better understanding of the tracks that were, like the snippets of tracks that were played in the other video. And this is where like some of the back and forths got very specific, which again makes it very hard to to think that it wasn't, this situation that's unfolding. Like very clearly this is what's happening.
With their own series of diss tracks, and the beef just kept getting more and more out of control. It even got to the point where Youngboy's mom got involved in the beef, going on IG Live to say, Fredo Bang and Boulevard Slow. Boulevard Quick responded to tell her to get his name out of her mouth and to stay out of the beef. Youngboy obviously didn't like the disrespect of his mom, even if she was the one who started it. What happened next shocked the city of Baton Rouge. In November 2018, Boulevard Quick was shot to death outside the Lakeside Villa apartments where he lived. He was killed just 3 weeks after dissing Youngboy's mom, and police began to link all the various homicides that had occurred over the past 2 to 3 years to this rap beef. Recently, an NBA affiliate named NBA Pap was arrested for the murder of G Money. Police had interviewed him 3 days after the murder, and he had told police that he was in Hammond, Louisiana on the night of G Money's death. He claims he was getting gas for his car so he and his mother could get out of the city and avoid retaliation. But the police were able to use phone records to prove that his story didn't hold up and that he was really in Baton Rouge on the night of the murder. They also...
See now, and I don't know what kind of phones they're talking about, but now my wife was just watching like a crime thing. She watches all sorts of crime things, but they were able to tell you when the person went from like black screen to like screen. That's my son right there. And like at what time that was happening, I was like, wow, this is, I don't know. If you have a phone now, like I think you can't get away with anything.
Rouge on the night of the murder. They also found shell casings that matched those of the crime scene on Jefferson Avenue in Baton Rouge and were able to determine that Pap tried to ditch the gun with some people he knew who lived down there. It also revealed that NBA Pap was previously shot by a TBG affiliate who goes by the name Lit Yoshi, who's also believed to be involved in several shootings related to this beef. In addition to the shooting of NBA Pap, Yoshi had also been charged with Youngboy's manager Dump's murder, as well as a shooting that happened in Miami in 2019. Youngboy was in Miami for Rolling Loud when he was shot out outside his hotel in Sunny Isles Beach. His own entourage returned fire, leading to a wild shootout that left several people injured and an innocent bystander dead. No one from the NBA team was injured except for Youngboy's girlfriend, who was shot in the shoulder. A Texas man, his girlfriend, and his 5-year-old son were also grazed by bullets, and a 43-year-old named Muhammad Jarati was killed in the crossfire.
Wow, that's messed up, man. Yeah.
So Lit Yoshi is now facing at least 3 attempted murder cases, with more evidence being introduced as time goes on. Boulevard Quick was also suspected in the shooting of Youngboy's manager, but he was killed before being arrested. So with most of the TBG affiliates either dead or behind bars, Fredo Bang is NBA's primary target. Youngboy and Fredo have continued to exchange diss tracks and insult each other on social media, keeping the beef alive. In 2020, Youngboy announced that fans could expect a new project from him on September 11th. Fredo Bang was also planning on dropping a project on the same day and took to social media to taunt his rival. He posted a slide to his IG story with the caption, "Guess me and my son dropping together," crying emojis. Youngboy didn't appreciate the disrespect and took to his own Instagram to call Fredo a hoe and tell him that he isn't in his league. He also posted a video with the caption, "I'ma catch you and bang your scary ass," and told Fredo that he better go dig all 3 of your brothers up.
You a bum, you ass nigga. Go dig all 3 of your brothers up with your scary ass. You a stop running from me. I ain't in no competition with you. Stop writing me. You a hoe.
Fredo followed up with,
So I think a little bit of what we saw there, like he said it in that Angela Yee interview where he was talking about like his anger issues and how he's doing like anger management and stuff. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see like he definitely gets angry quick and really angry.
Fredo followed up with his own video saying that Youngboy needs some help because he seems very angry. He also goes on to diss some of Youngboy's dead homies and claims that some of his girls are sliding in his DMs. He's much calmer than Youngboy, but still just as disrespectful.
Man, somebody go help little brother out, bro. He angry, dog. He angry. Talking about dead partners and shit. It ain't like I'm on this bitch talking about fat boy and that extra large coffin he got. It ain't my fault all your in my DM. We share 2 hoes, now all of a sudden I'm just everything you fucking. Stop playing, man.
So it seemed like only a matter of time before another body was dropped in this bloody war gone way too far. The beef may be put on pause for a while after Youngboy was arrested by the FBI in March 2021. Back in September of 2020, Youngboy was caught up in a police raid along with 16 other people and charged with illegal weapons possession and the distribution and manufacturing of drugs. He and a group of other men were filming a music video outside an abandoned trap house in Baton Rouge. The neighbors called the police and
That's the Dead Trolls music video. Haha.
He and a group of other men were filming a music video outside an abandoned trap house in Baton Rouge. The neighbors called the police and authorities found 14 guns and $79,000 worth of cash. Youngboy initially posted bail. His lawyers claim that the police have no way to prove that Youngboy had any connection to the drugs and weapons found in the crime scene. But being a convicted felon, the rapper is not allowed to even hold a firearm or associate with other convicted felons. The fact that police found a mini arsenal of weapons definitely wasn't a good look for the rapper either. A few months after he was released, the FBI announced that they were opening an investigation into the NBA camp. Even though they're holding him on a gun charge, it's likely just being used as an excuse to get him off the streets and end the deadly cycle that has been raging in the streets of Baton Rouge. After a warrant was issued for Youngboy's arrest, LAPD tried to pull him over, but Youngboy must have known what was coming because he tried to flee. First, he tried to just drive off, but when police had him cornered, he got out of the vehicle and escaped on foot. The FBI had to be called in, and a canine unit was deployed to locate him. Youngboy's been denied bonds in this case and is being held until his trial.
Yo, this is wild. There's so much going on. Oh man, like I feel like you could do like a, an hour-long documentary on this thing.
Escaped on foot. The FBI had to be called in, and a canine unit was deployed to locate him. Youngboy's been denied bonds in this case and is being held until his trial. A California judge initially approved a $540,000 bond, but this was later denied by a Louisiana judge who had the final say because the crime occurred in Baton Rouge. The court claimed that Youngboy was a danger to the community because of his past crimes and his history of ignoring the conditions of his probation. So it seems like the feds aren't playing around with this one and are looking to make an example out of Youngboy to try to put a stop to the violence going on in Baton Rouge. Although Youngboy has a history of beating difficult cases, this one is looking very different. It seems like the feds have identified the NBA crew as a violent street gang, and they are looking to paint Youngboy as the sole leader of the operation. If Youngboy ends up doing some serious time, it'll be a major L for the entire NBA camp. TBG will have the upper hand in the music industry, with Fredo Bang still doing his thing. Hopefully, Youngboy will beat the case and learn his lesson. But with so many lives already lost, it seems like the beef will just continue, even if Youngboy is behind bars.
Okay. So it says this video is a year old. Part of me also knows this is old because somebody said in my comments that he's on house arrest, and that's how he's been putting out all the newer music he's done. That's like a year old or newer. Somebody also said that maybe it was last December, him and Fredo Bang, tried to make peace or whatever and end the beef or whatever like that. Anyways, look, I think what's happening is as we go deeper, I'm starting to understand how much more there is. And I think this is going to be a longer journey than I assumed. We're going to have to take a lot of time trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm doing my best. You guys are doing an incredible job filling in the holes when I am lost. So please keep helping me out. I really, really do appreciate it. If you guys are still here with me at the end of this video, I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.